Fans, it's Alex, and today we're going to look at armor. You might be wondering, why is Drill Sergeant there? Well, he's here for us to do a pretty awesome kind of actually describing what armor does and its effect on the game itself and what it means to pretty much everyone. Okay, so we're just going to Rampart Ruins. Okay, so got our two Skylanders selected, and the big one is Knight. In order for this to work, we had to have a flat, level attack that we could base all this on. That was Knight.
Rampart Ruins.
He has an attack, charge up attack, deals exactly 100 points of damage. See this? He's all charged up. And you can like aim it. That right there does exactly 100 points of damage. So with that, we can discover how much actual damage gets done per armor. So here we go. Alright, so he's ready to punch right here. Actually, that's probably a little bit too far away. Actually, I want to do it from this side. Okay. So, he's all charged up now. And now... Uh-oh. Okay, we're fine. Okay, so, he's all charged up. And now it's time to see just how much damage it does to poor Drill Sergeant right here, who's just going to get walloped on. Dealt 74 damage. So that is in line with our predictions. So actually, let's do that one more time. Okay, so here we go, and 74. Okay, good. All right, so that goes well, and then let's go to Skylander hats, and we want to put him on with a different hat. I'll put him on with the bowling pin hat. So this gives him a stats of 68 armor, and that should make it so that it only deals, I'm gonna guess, 73 points of damage. Maybe it's 74. We'll see though. Okay, so here we go, and 73 it is. Okie dokie. So Drill Sergeant. Alright, let's go another hat. We'll try a different hat.
Stats are my favorite.
2 armor. So he's sitting at 58 armor without any hats right here. So we just kind of go up each one and see how much it does. So adding 15 to that. Yep. I'll go ahead and do that.
This is acceptable.
Alright, so all charged up and 72. Alright, now let's go with a quick, make sure that his stats are what his stats are. So he's at 73. 73 armor. And we'll go to hats. Let's see what other ones we've got. Plus 30 armor. We'll put that one on. get him up to 88, which is the highest one that we've found. And so now he's wearing that, and we'll see how much damage it does. It deals 68. Alright, so all of those compiled. We're going to go ahead and make sure that this goes to J42. That to go to J46.
Where's the action?
This is getting the correct. It's referencing the correct material.
Spectators are losing interest.
To H46 and then J46. Alright, we'll try going with
Spectators are losing interest. Where's the action?
Okay, so what we've found is that
Where's the action?
there's a correlation between armor and the amount of damage prevented. So we have this handy dandy well, it's not a website, it's a okay, so all right.
Spectators are losing interest.
Okay, so we have a trend line, pretty much. That's our trend line. And it's not perfect, but it is a very, very close approximation. And for all intents and purposes, gives us a very good go-to on, hey, this is what we're getting at. It's got an R² value of 0.9944. So, pretty excellent. What it is it's actually, I actually added a couple things, so it's actually 0.11 and 0.4452 plus 0.5922. Okay, so that's taking 036 right there. That's the armor. And so if you take your attack and then you go against whatever armor it's going to take, then that's going to be your total done. Your total damage prevented. So if your armor is, let's say, 30, and you've got an attack coming in at 34, then what it does is it will prevent 12% of that. So what you got to do is you take 035, which is right here, the attack. Oh, actually, you can't see this at all. It's way too small. Okay, so you take the attack of 34 and the armor right there. So this right here is referencing how much the attack is, and then you subtract this rate over 100, and you multiply it by the original. So anytime you have an armored person of 30 and you have an attack coming in of 34, it's only actually going to do 12.59 damage. So it's probably going to round up to 30. One thing that we did notice is that at Woodboro, the individual little guys, what are they called? They're called mannequins. The individual mannequins, they actually are at a rate of 0 armor. So that being the case, like, you have 0 armor, any attack that you do down there is going to show, hey, this is how much. All right, I'm having trouble describing it to you. So, well, it's easiest to show. So you've got the level 100 attack that Night Shift does, or Night anything. He charges up and does 100. And we found that the mannequins actually have a 0. They have 0 armor. So that's any time we take any of our statistics from there, we always use that at the baseline armor right there. So I'll come over here and show you. All right. So come over here and swings up and boom, does 100 right off the bat. So that's how much damage it actually does. That being the case, so again, like I said, it deals 100, and you've got the armor level that will tell you how much it does against your friends. So this rate that we found, and I'll show it to you again, negative 0.11 x squared plus 0.4452x plus 0.5922, and we use that as a polynomial trend line. You can also use like a power and whatnot, and it's not tremendous, but like all these digits in here that are really close, they're going to be, like, for instance, rounding. Like, this is how much damage is prevented right here out of the 100. So this down the y-axis is how much damage per 100 is prevented with however much armor down here. So if you have 60 some odd armor, 63 armor, you're going to prevent 24 out of 100. And you're just going to keep going up like that. So that being the case, come over here, and that armor lets you know just how much percentage is gonna do it. So if you have like a 60 armored person, it's gonna prevent 23%. This is the percent of armor, the percent of damage prevented. What's great about that is that it quantifies exactly how much Okay, there we go. All right, so that's the actual percentage. And you can just play around with these numbers. So if you have 75 armor, you're going to prevent about 27%, 28% of whatever attacks are incoming. You have like 89 armor, then you're getting a little bit, 89 armor. Then you're going up to there, and you have like 150 armor. Well, there you go. You're almost half of the attack is almost nullified. So what that does is that allows you to take those statistics and create an effective health. So let's level 20. He's got 810 health, but his damage prevention rate is 13.8% with his with the armor that he has. So his armor giving him pretty much effective health more than that. For instance, every 100 damage that goes in, 13% is going to be prevented. So that's almost like having an extra 13 health per 100. And so you multiply the percentage right there with his health at level 20, and you get an effective health range, which is 897. So that's pretty awesome when you actually get a chance to see that. So that being the case, we've got this handy dandy thing right here, and you can actually get your effective health. Pretty awesome. You actually get a chance to see that. So that being the case, we've got this. Alright, so you go over here to any of the ones, like for instance, countdown, effective, or not countdown, Tornado, effective health at level 20. Okay, so his effective health at level 20 is going to be equals. We're just going to do this. Okay, and we're going to reference this cell right here. Armor. Reference that again right here. Okay, so he is preventing however much, like 0.1, yada yada. So what you do, that's his prevention rate due to armor, and his effective health is really just that, the level 20 plus the level 20 times whatever his prevention rate is. So it's too big for that. So he's got 1,051, and that's just with his armor level at 30. And now let's say you toss on the frost hat, which is, what's that called? Let me see. The hat is called, here we go, Crown of Frost. You do that, and he's got a plus 30. It's going to cause him to go up to 1,147. And that's just with a 30% increase, or a 30 armor increase. Now let's check out that volcano hat. The volcano hat gives some pretty good stats. It's coming. I think one of these. There we go. Volcano hat. All right, so it's got 25 armor and 50 health. So let's say you got, so he's got 55 here, and instead of that, he's got 980. So he's going to be at almost 1,200 with that hat on. pretty tough to kill. So armor is just a way of really using that health stat and turning it into an effective health when you're playing against your buddies, or even in story mode. That's all armor is. It just is a prevention rate. It's not like in previous ones past where it was like a percentage of times where you'd get like a little shield that popped up and you take no damage. Instead of that, it tells you how much damage is prevented each time. That's all armor is. So that's pretty much what armor is, and that was an important find for us. I would say that is one of the best one of the best things that you can know as a Skylander player is just how much actually health you're getting with your guys. If your Skylanders are relatively like strong health wise but don't have much armor, well that's fine. Whereas you can get like someone that has a strong armor and not as much health and they're almost up to that level. So it's important to tell. So it's a pretty cool, pretty nifty trick, and you can wow your friends with, hey, this is actual how much health each Skylander actually technically has, just by using this this damage prevention rate, which is it's throughout the entire game. So you can actually, like I was showing you earlier, you can take that oops, you can take whatever attacks you want and see how much damage they'll actually do. So if you have an attack that typically deals 40, 44 for instance, because a lot of them deal 44 for some reason, and your opponent has an armor of just a basic armor like 24, then instead of seeing 44 in the battle arena, you're only going to see 39. You might see 40. It depends on their rounding. So yeah, I would give it a plus or minus 1 with anything, maybe even a 2. So plus or minus 1 to 2 damage that you're going to see. And that'll kind of waylay it to be like, well, I see it against the dummies doing 44 damage, but against my buddies it deals like 39, then it deals 25. So it all depends on how much armor the other Skylander that's across from you has. So that's all there is for tonight. I wanted to kind of get that out in the open so that when we talked about effective health, you could understand what that means. And Warnado is like I was talking about when we originally looked at him. He is a intense beast. Oh, and that with that upgrade. So his upgrade actually, his upgrade will give him a 70 armor, and then you add in that extra 25 armor with the volcano hat, so he'll be at 95, and then you add another 50 on here, so 980. So he's at 1300 effective health if you were trying to get as much health as possible out of him at level 20 with all the upgrades and the best hat in the game, which is the volcano hat. Well, that's what we found so far, is that it's the volcano hat. If you disagree, I mean, I'd love to hear it, but the volcano hat it gives you much more stat bonuses than any other, and beneficial stat bonuses at that. So all right, well, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Have a great evening. It was great having you guys around, and I'll see you in Skylands.